From the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Welcome back to KPIX 5 this morning. Time now is 6:29. I'm Melissa Kane.
Good morning. I'm Devin Fehely. And time for a look at this morning's top stories.
Eastbound I-80 is now open after a shooting investigation forced the closure of all lanes in Vallejo. The shooting happened at around 8:30 last night near the interchange of I-780. The CHP says that one person in a car heading eastbound on 80 was hit by at least one bullet. No word on the extent of that person's injuries.
And police are investigating the death of a person who was hit by a vehicle late last night in Berkeley. The victim's remains were discovered on Adeline Street, not far from the Ashby BART station. Investigators are looking into this as a hit-and-run case.
And in the 7-day forecast, not one, but two opportunities for rain. The more impressive and the more likely one is tomorrow morning. So let's get ready for this. Our drive to work tomorrow morning. We're going to get the first light showers of the season. Shouldn't be a lot of rain, but it is going to be enough that the roads are going to get slick. And the timing for the rain pretty much comes right through the morning commute between like 6 a.m. and 10 in the morning. And then on Wednesday, there's another chance for light rain, but that's mainly confined to the North Bay and doesn't look like much at all.
And BART riders can expect delays this weekend on the Antioch line. That's because crews are replacing track between the Orinda and Walnut Creek stations. They're replacing 5,000 feet of 50-year-old tracks, and the work is only about halfway done. Riders will face delays of about 30 minutes, and it may be an improvement over shutdowns on previous weekends. At least this time, BART is single tracking to allow riders to still use that Lafayette station.
It's massively inconvenient, but I'd rather have them single track than bus bridge.
It does impact some of the private or the streets that get really clogged up, and so then we have to reroute and get back on the highway. So it's just delaying a lot of things for the weekend.
On the road, cars are slowing to a crawl on Highway 24. Two eastbound lanes are closed to allow room for construction equipment. And BART says the work is ahead of schedule, but track shutdowns will still be necessary on two remaining weekends of work, one in late September and one in late October.
A live look this morning at SFO, where repairs are also slowing things down. The airport reported 168 delays and 9 cancellations yesterday, but the big runway construction project that's causing those delays just hit a milestone that should speed things up. Crews just completed repaving a stretch of runway 28L where it intersects with runway 1R, 2 days ahead of schedule. Now, halfway done, the work moves to a different section. In the meantime, passengers should still expect delays, just not as many. Some developing news out of Santa Rosa, where police are investigating the death of a 13-month-old child. The toddler was found in a home on Derrick Drive yesterday afternoon next to an unconscious 29-year-old man. Paramedics were unable to revive the little boy. The man is in the hospital in life-threatening condition. Officers say they later found items inside that house consistent with drug use, but at this point they are not saying how the toddler died. Now, so far they haven't released any names or information about the relationship between the two victims. And a Fairfield smoke shop owner is in trouble with police this morning for allegedly selling THC and tobacco products to juveniles. This is what investigators found when they executed a search warrant at the smoke shop and more on West Texas Street. THC cartridges, butane hash oil, and over $14,000 in cash. This was part of a months-long narcotics investigation by Fairfield police.
A Santa Cruz County woman faces charges after a bizarre incident in California's state Senate chambers. Rebecca De Leo is accused of throwing a feminine hygiene device containing what appeared to be blood onto the Senate floor Friday. She also yelled, "That's for the dead babies." The liquid did splash onto some lawmakers, and several of them visited doctors as a precaution.
At the time that it happens, it's a little bit of shock and a little worry. You don't know what you were hit with.
Investigators have not declared a motive or what the substance was, but some lawmakers believe the demonstrator was part of the so-called anti-vax movement. People in that movement are opposed to two new state laws aimed at cracking down on fraudulent medical exemptions for vaccinations. But De Leo may also have been protesting a different bill, one that requires public colleges to offer medical abortion pills.
State lawmakers have now wrapped up their latest legislative session, sending hundreds of bills to Governor Gavin Newsom. The measures include a statewide limit on rent increases, capping them at 5% per year plus inflation. Several other bills are aimed at regulating prisons and police. San Francisco Assemblyman Phil Tang wrote one of those that prohibits police from using facial recognition technology in their body cameras.
If you put facial recognition software onto a body camera, then it's a tool of surveillance. And it's a tool of surveillance that's constantly on the move because it moves with the officer.
In all, nearly 750 bills are heading to the governor's desk. He has until October 13th to either sign or veto them.
Meanwhile, Governor Newsom says he will veto a bill that would have allowed California to stick with Obama-era environmental rules. Senate Bill 1 would block the Trump administration's rollback of endangered species protections and keep water pumping restrictions in the Delta. But Newsom, along with farmers and water agencies, says the bill's restrictions could put the water supply in jeopardy. The governor says that overall, the bill does not provide enough authority to push back against current environmental policies from the federal government. And a three-day event in San Francisco is designed to present solutions for the world's most pressing environmental issues. Planet Home continues today at the Palace of Fine Arts. It features discussions with activists, celebrities, and live music and interactive exhibits.
The purpose of this event is to have a solutionist uprising, of have the masses of people all work towards solutions so that we have a better planet where we eat, make, move, and live and make better choices every day in our lives.
Last night, the rapper Snoop Dogg performed as a DJ, and all the food being served is from sustainable sources. Planet Home wraps up today.